Brigid Taylor spoke to Bob Schukai. He's the head of the Advanced Product Innovation at Thomson Reuters at the Trading Africa Summit about mobile applications and the accessibility of Eikon to African users. Here's that conversation.
This is a wonderful continent, as you say. This year we're projecting 1 billion mobile phones on the continent, more than there actually are people. And it just speaks to the way that, Africa has adopted mobile technology straight away. And of course, what it means for us in context is that when we design these big trading products, which typically, would go on a large screen, you have to completely rethink that when you do it for a mobile device.
Correct.
And that's not about creating the kitchen sink, which is let's not take it and shrink it down. In fact, the running joke we have is this isn't about taking it, from a desktop to an iPad, which is the skinny jeans version, and then the anorexic version, which goes on the phone, looks pretty sick.
Yeah.
So you have to really think about, what are the entitlements, the things that matter most when you do a mobile phone product.
Absolutely, and I think that, if we look in South Africa particularly, almost everybody that has 2 cell phones, so I don't think that you're totally out there. However, let's talk about the innovation in terms of African innovation. So you sit in the United States, a lot of infrastructure, a lot of developments already been put in place, but you come to a continent like Africa where there is that shortfall in terms of infrastructure. What are the challenges and what do you see? Do you see this as an exciting opportunity to develop better and think more out of the box and more innovatively, or do you find this a challenge that has hindrances that are not overcomable?
No, I think this is an amazing market. In fact, here in Cape Town, we have the Silicon Cape, which is sort of the Silicon Valley. And everybody likes to stick silicon in front of where they happen to be in the world. And, it's a wonderful accelerator and startup community that's down here. And I think the biggest challenge they have is no different than any others markets that I see, especially the UK. You get that friends and family funding up front, and then the transition to get to Series A funding is always the tricky bit. Americans haven't really discovered this part of the world and haven't come down with investments. There's a lack of awareness, but I think that's true in a lot of places around the world. Still said, one of the things that I think is amazing about the opportunity for Africa is that you see solutions being created that aren't, I don't want to call them throwaway, like a Yo application, for example. They're solving real problems and creating real opportunity here.
And do you see this as sustainable opportunities? So in other words, what we're developing now will definitely take innovation in the technology space to the next level. And do you find this an exciting opportunity within the African space? In terms of, the assumed norms that we've seen in the developed world, this is a new space to play. And for you, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think the beauty of a market like this, and you see this in a lot of developing markets, is that you're skipping generations of technology. You're not burdened by legacies. So you can think about things completely differently. You can think about biometrics and digital identity and all these wonderful things that, that pocket computer, the mobile phone, has in hand. And it means you can really create sustainability and I think create solutions that are actually exportable to the rest of the world. We're only adopting Apple Pay and Google Wallet and things like that in the United States today. Meanwhile, last year, nearly $26 billion in M-Pesa transactions in Kenya alone.
So that's exciting. So let's, welcome, and I'm very excited to see what Thomson Reuters can do in Africa and the technology that's going to be developed. But I think that one of the outcomes of this is really, this is a nest egg. This is an opportunity that we can potentially leapfrog. So, Rob, take us to the next level and looking forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you very much. I think it's going to be a wonderful opportunity and a wonderful market to develop, especially with the opportunities we have with mobile and networks and capabilities.